It's episode 25, and to celebrate, I'm keeping a long overdue promise to buy a shed. We also get to harvest our 2 new fields for the first time and make up for the absolute disaster from the last episode. We're starting out hustling over to the store to buy and pick up several pallets of lime. In the last episode, we tried to lime our 2 new fields, but were too late for it to take effect, and wound up wasting a day's worth of lime spreader rental fees and 2 pallets of lime. What we'll do though is go ahead and get more lime, take it back to the farm, and get it all preloaded and ready for July. There was no sense returning the spreader because keeping it 1 extra month is way cheaper than re-renting it. Once July comes and we harvest the field, we'll be all set to put down the lime, and this time it should work. July is going to be an incredibly busy month. Actually, every month this year has been packed with activity, but there's a lot to do in July, so we'll take care of an important chore and get more wood from our new field into the sawmill. Previously, we cut down this good-sized box elder and left the chunky base. With a little luck, I think I can wrangle it onto the trailer and get it moved. Perfect. Let's get it moved and see how much wood that'll give us. The fact that I could lift it with a 3650 makes me question how much wood it'll actually bring. I would have thought such a big trunk would be huge, but maybe not. Not as much as I had hoped. There's still lots of room left in the sawmill. Let's go back to the new field and cut another. This time, we'll go for this mature American elm. We know these have a lot of wood, so it should last us a good while. I trimmed up some branches and got this tippy piece in the grab. If we can get a decent portion positioned over the trailer, I can at least get it strapped on and probably get it up to the mill. Well, that went better than I thought it would. Let's see what it gives. That one big branch was almost 3,000 liters. Not bad. There's several more of those on the big elm, so the branches alone should keep us supplied for a good while. The sawmill's almost full, so I think now we can position our trailer out of the way and move on to July. Like I said, there's a ton to do in July, so we'd better get up bright and early and start the day. Just after 6:30, let's get cracking. Today, the Dutzfar gets put to work with both mowing attachments. Only the Dutzfar has enough power to use them both together. This setup is really fast, but today in particular, I'm curious to see how fast we can cut both our existing fields and the 2 new fields. It'll be the first time our new fields have had a harvest. Let's get after it. As we come down the final stretch, that was about 30 minutes. I have no regrets buying the rear mower. it was well worth the money in saved time and wear on the machinery. And with less rows, our baling should go a little smoother as well. We'll get hooked up to the crone and do the baling. All this field work is a great way to spend the morning as we wait for the silage to finish fermenting. It's not an immediate priority, but pretty soon, I'd like to get most of our new equipment, like this baler, fully repaired. I bought it used, and when I tested it, I didn't see any drop in the number of bales produced, but it did seem to move a little slower than its rated speed. And this tractor has plenty of horsepower to pull the baler. If nothing else, it'll give me some peace of mind knowing it's in top working order, so when we have some extra funds, we'll get it worked on. Now though, what we'll do first is bale our original field and the lower field and see what the reduction in yield was from having forgotten the fertilizer. As you might remember, in the previous episode, I forgot to roll the field, and then waited until it was too late for the fertilizer to take effect. So we're cutting these first two fields at a reduced yield. I'm just hoping it's not too bad. All right, that's about 23 bales from both fields, which is about 5 bales short of what we get normally. Not as bad as I'd feared, but it's still about a $4,500 loss. I think, though, we'll be able to overcome that. Let's do the new fields. These need lime, but they are fully fertilized, so I'm really curious to see what they'll bring. The neighbor's corn at the upper field was starting to look good, and we got 16 bales from both the new fields combined. That's excellent. I had been thinking along the lines of 12, maybe 13, so this is really good news. And after we get it limed, I bet we'll get 18 bales. I have no doubt. For now, we'll drop the baler back off on the side of the creek, but it'll be the last time we do that because we're getting a shed just as soon as we finish the field work. Incidentally, the baling took about 45 minutes, which probably isn't that bad considering we got 39 bales across 4 different fields. The next step is to get the fields cleared of bales and wrapped, and for that, we'll use both tractors a little, but we'll mainly call upon our John Deere 3650 for some front loader action and the start of our silage. Beautiful. Everything got wrapped early by around 9 o'clock in the morning, so it'll be ready to sell early in October as well. The next step is to lime the 2 new fields we failed at so miserably in the last episode. The lime spreader is all filled and ready to go. Let's just do a quick check and make sure it's all working. Yes, the need for lime is gone from that first pass, so we can continue improving the field. Let's finish the liming. Alright, this is the last pass on the second new field, and we can clearly see our light dusting of lime. We'll throw out the little bit left over from the 3 pallets of lime and return the spreader. We won't be needing to lime again soon, I don't think. We've got one more vital job to take care of, and I want to do it before we get distracted by our new shed and forget. And that's rolling. Last time, we forgot to roll the grass and left our field 50% fertilized, so we don't want to do that same mistake again. The roller isn't fast at 7 miles per hour, but it does have a decent working width. So we'll do all 4 fields in one go on this sunny July morning and knock it out in no time. Very easy, very relaxing, and we can say that all our fields are on the same growth cycle and pretty much at their maximum yield potential. It feels good. Now it's time for our shed. We'll move the Anderson out of the way because the shed we're getting is fairly large. Back when we just had one tractor and a few front loader attachments, I was going to get a smaller wooden one. But now, given all the stuff we've acquired, that would never do. We need space. This lean-to shed is very affordable, and I think what we'll do is position it in this upper corner of the field, facing into the field. I'm planning on always keeping this field as grass. The others might change, but this one will stay as it is, so it doesn't matter if we drive over the grass to put things in and out of the shed. We'll give it a little space between the mushroom house and the back wall so it's not all crammed together and more natural. And we can even park or store something there if we want. There, it's ours. But now we'll go the extra mile and do some landscaping. This corner part of the lot was always an awkward bit to mow, and I've always wanted to gravel in around the mushroom house. This gives us a great opportunity to add a little aesthetic value to the farm. We'll keep it neat and natural, and even gravel the interior of the shed. By default, I think it's just some mud. The gravel feels much more appropriate for parking and storing things, and we can round out the edges of the grass for easier mowing and rolling. No more awkward angles. There. Let's look around our shed. The little bit of dirt road from the original field boundaries is showing, but it actually fits right next to the shed like that. Oh yes, the gravel looks good on the interior. The mushroom house area also feels much improved. The pallets are even much easier to get at. There's no lights, but maybe we can add some lights around the outside later. All in all, it's a pretty smart-looking shed. We can't really leave the episode, though, without putting some things in it. That just wouldn't be fair. So we'll start with the baler, and I'll just figure things out as we go. Looks like there's plenty of space right beside it in the bay for another piece, so we'll oblige that with the grass roller. Fits perfect. Next to that, I think we'll put all our front loader attachments. We can just line them up similar to what we did along the edge of the field. The bucket we can kinda stick off to the side. I don't have much need for the bucket these days, but it'll still be reachable just in case. We'll use the Dutzfar and get our 2 mowers stored away. Both of these are vital pieces of equipment, and we'll place them one in front of the other. We'll almost never be using one without the other. It'll be very easy to hook up the front, then turn the tractor around and get the rear mower. The log trailer goes next, but I don't think we need to put it inside. There's no real mechanical parts we need to protect from the weather, so it'll have a resting place right out back where we left that space between the two buildings. Now to move what's probably been the most triggering thing for you viewers, and that's this jumble of assorted pallets and things. Getting these squared away was long overdue, and was even bothering me quite a bit. Giving these a proper storage location is going to be really freeing. We'll start with the 2 lime pallets stored at the back wall. We won't be needing those for a while. We'll get the wrapping for silage. That seems to be lasting forever in the Anderson, and put that on the outside corner. We'll take a couple 100 liters of seed we have and plop that next to the wrap. And the baling twine has a perfect location, right along the wall behind the baler, where we can fill it right from where the baler's parked. We could even shove a second pallet of twine in there if we need to. We also have this bag of seed. It'll get stored too, and I think to keep everything together, it should go nicely right on top of the seed pallet. Our tiny little fertilizer spreader can go right in front of the lime pallets. Seems like a good place, and we can stack fertilizer pallets in this middle area too if we get any. And of course, the Anderson doesn't have to sit out in the field anymore. We reserved a perfect spot in the shed, and we can easily load more wrap from where everything is sitting and parked. We even left enough room for our 2 tractors. The 3650 can go right in here with the front loader equipment. That's what the John Deere is for anyway. And the Dutzfar can buddy up with the mowers. Well, there you have it. That looks kind of amazing. It's like we have a real farm. Everything fits easily, nicely accessible, and to me, nothing feels overly packed in. It all looks very comfortable in there with some room to spare. We should have done this a long time ago. You need to tell me in the comments what you think of the shed. The 2 new fields are going to be so good for the farm, and we're getting to a place of income where big purchases will come much easier. Let's see what the next episode brings. Thanks for all the likes and comments, and I'll see you in the next one.